Hi there, I'm Justin Pritchard, and this enormous road beast is, of course, the all-new three-row Subaru Ascent. It's one of the biggest crossovers on the scene right now, but is it the best for you? Well, that kind of depends on what you like. Let's take a closer look. Other than their offices and factories, this is the biggest thing Subaru builds, and they've built it to keep shoppers in their showrooms even once they've outgrown their Forester or Outback. Normally that means sobbing a teary goodbye to the Subaru brand and then heading off to buy a Pilot or Acadia or Explorer or Highlander. Now, here's a three-row, 8-seat option that's enormous on space and doesn't require you to stop being a Subaru owner. It's longer than Highlander or Pilot. There's more cargo room than CX-9. And with nearly 20 cup holders and 8 USB charging ports and the enormous size of this thing, well, if we had the budget to play the Canyonero theme song, this is where it would go. We don't have that budget, sadly. Anyways, like all crossovers, Ascent has some strengths and weaknesses, and understanding those will help you to see where this thing should fit on your test drive hit list if you happen to be shopping in this segment, so let's take a closer look. Strength number one, the size. The big body means big door openings, which makes it big time easy to board and exit. Just slide sideways, step over the thin rockers, and you're in, easy peasy, and even if you're carrying something large or are mobility challenged. If you're sitting in the first or second rows, expect more than ample space to kick back and relax. Rows 1 and 2 are spacious and make a great chill zone. Behind them, a great big cargo hold that's wide and deep and square, even if the load-in height is a little on the tall side. 4-person trip to the cottage for a week, you've got all the room you need. Third row seats flip up when needed, and as an average-sized human adult, I can also report that they're easy to get to without much fuss, thanks to a wide walk-through path, and also that I could physically sit back here if I had to, but that these rear seats are best left for the kids. Or fold everything down and you've got a mini cargo van. I even fit these considerably lengthy IKEA bookcases in back, no problemo. Strength number 2 is the ride quality, and I'd bet you a considerable sum that you'd have trouble telling the difference between this and something from a luxury brand that costs twice as much. It's comfortable, smooth, relaxed, little upsets it, and it's very, very quiet too, even on these winter tires. And as a highway cruiser, this thing pretty much just nails it. Strength number 3, the Powertrain. A new 2.4-liter flat-4 turbo engine serves up 260 horsepower and plenty of low-end torque, so normally you never need to rev it high enough that it makes much of a sound, meaning that it's responsive and smooth and quiet, even from very low revs. If you're a light-footed driver who loves a smooth engine that you won't often hear from, you're going to like this. Conversely, when you open it up, it is surprisingly punchy, giving you a pleasing shove into your seat and steaming along with authority and that signature Subaru boxer engine growl. And the all-wheel drive, as you'd expect, minimal wasted wheel spin, nothing required of the driver. Take off on a slippery hill, accelerate in deep snow, or throttle through a corner, whatever you throw its way, the system just sorts it all out, expertly processing the surface, keeping you moving seamlessly and never wastefully spinning a wheel. What stands out the most is how the Ascent always seems to know where the traction is and is not, and makes excellent use of it. Shuffling of power between the axles is precise and fast and happens without you feeling anything. Just point the steering, press the throttle, and let the engineering sort it all out for you. And this tester is on winter tires, which makes all of that work so much better. Stops come quickly and in a straight line with minimal squirming, even in emergency situations on slippery surfaces. So, unsurprisingly, this thing is absolutely beast mode in the snow, and the worse the conditions you drive in, the more you'll feel like you're getting your money's worth. A few other notes. There are a few too many features and safety systems in here to cover fully, but I'll give you some of my favorites. The eyesight safety system is predictable and confidently consistent, adjusting your position in traffic via the cruise, alerting you if you've left your lane, and alerting you if you're at risk of a rear-end collision. It's high-tech and very effective. The rearview mirror is a mirror or a camera, whatever you like, and in camera mode you get a better view out the back that's not obstructed by the body or passengers or cargo. Headlights are also noteworthy. Thanks to plenty of powerful white light cast far and wide, the performance is really good. And finally, the interior design is nicely upscale, rich materials mostly, lots of color and texture, and all arranged and trimmed to make sure that you feel like you're sitting in something that reflects the price tag. Don't miss this unique dash slash, which looks cool and also gives you more handy storage. Still, the displays let the swanky cabin down a little. They look like their graphics and colors could use some updating. Other gripes include the CVT transmission's operation in one specific condition. Now, often you don't even notice it's there unless it's cold, where it sounds like a busted power steering pump in an old pickup truck, until the fluid inside heats up after a moment of driving. Not what I like in a 50 grand vehicle, but you will get used to it. Also, you may find the steering a little too quick and sporty for how soft the suspension is, meaning that you'll need to work a little harder to steer at speed without making the Ascent lurch around or feel like you've startled it. Ultimately, you've got some very compelling choices in this segment, and Ascent is one of them. And even more so if you want to tackle really nasty winter conditions with absolute confidence and be very comfortable, very safe, and surrounded by a ton of room while you're doing it. Put simply, this machine feels and performs unfailingly well in virtually all of the areas that matter to shoppers in this segment. Thanks for watching.